Hey y'all, it's Lindsay. Welcome back. I want a chameleon. Like, it's that simple. I want a chameleon. It's not a decision I just made. I've been researching them for weeks. Fun fact, my dad actually had a chameleon. So I want to get a panther chameleon. I'm not sure what kind / breed yet, but there's a lot of stuff you need to get for a chameleon. They need to have constant humidity, they need to have heat, they need to have a UVB bulb, they need to have space, they need to have stuff to climb on, they need to have proper food. Like, it's a lot. Like, there are a lot to manage. I did not go into this decision lightly. I'm not like, hey, let's just go get a chameleon for clickbait. No. I've done my research. I really have always wanted a chameleon. It's like a pet I've always wanted to have. I really just think they're such beautiful creatures. But they are expensive. Like, enclosures alone are like $200, and I just have this wood sitting downstairs, so I'm going to go build an enclosure that's 3 by 2 by 2. That means 3 feet high by 2 feet by 2 feet, and so that should be like ample space for a juvenile / adult. And if this works out, and I'm planning on sealing all the wood because all the humidity, I'm planning on getting screen because screen is best. It helps the air circulate out, and you don't want your chameleon to get bacterial infections. Let's just go get started. Let's go get started. So this is the base for what I came up with. I did adjust the design just a little bit so that it can fit on the wardrobe. So it is now 18 by 24 by 36, which is still a lot of space. So I am about to stain the wood. I'll show you all that process. And then after I stain, I'm going to go to Lowe's to get some door screening and to get some varnish to seal up the wood so that it can be waterproof. I also am going to get some smaller pieces of wood and a door hinge so I can make a door that easily opens so that I can get in and out of the cave. Alright, so we're out here. We're gonna stain the piece of wood. I have gloves. You don't want to stain your hands. I'm also getting my nails done this weekend, so I don't want them to be all messy. I am staining this wood in Yeezys. Not my smartest decision, but I don't really think I care. Alright, so this is the final product of the stain. And in a few minutes, I'm probably gonna give it an hour outside just to air out, and then I'm gonna add a varnish to it so that it's waterproof. All right, y'all. It's day 2 of building the chameleon enclosure. We got some screen, and this was like $14 at Lowe's, and I got started on it a little bit last night. It's like halfway complete, and I'm going to finish the other sides now and build the door. So that's where we're at. So this is the enclosure. I might just clean up some of the screening that's over there. And then next I'm going to make the door that will swing open. So I just added the door on, and these I just used little hinges that I got from Lowe's. I am going to try to add like a door hinge that you can like open and close. So that way it's like secure. I think that will look really nice, but I'm gonna have to add an extra piece of wood onto this piece so that it sits flat. Hey y'all, it's Lindsay. It's day 3. I actually ordered my chameleon 3 days ago from CB Reptile, and it's supposed to ship out today and is here tomorrow. So we have a lot to finish setting up today, and I'm really excited to share with you the process that I've been on. So this is what I have at the moment. I just have 3 plants in here, and I ordered a vine and hammock kit off of Amazon that was like $15. So I just installed these in the side with some burlap and cut small holes. For up here, I added these hooks that are water resistant, and you can just hang vines so that way it will have something to crawl on, and that goes down to the pot. I just cut a hole in the top, and I ordered this humidifier, so I'm gonna put the hose in now. And let's turn it on. And this is the fogging system I have. I got it off Amazon and I actually really like it. What's cool is throughout the day, it will add condensation onto these 2 vines, and the chameleon will always have a place to come and drink from, regardless of whether or not I missed it. For our lighting setup, we have an agro lamp, which creates a really nice amount of heat that will be great for a basking area and to keep the temperature regulated. And then this is the UVB bulb that I got. It's 18 inches, and I think these are much better than the dome UVBs because they emit more UVB spectrum into your enclosure. I did already order replacement bulbs for both of these, and both of these are set up on a timer so they go on and off and will create a circadian rhythm essentially. I forgot to mention this earlier, but Kadeem and I went to Presque Isle in Lake Erie in Pennsylvania, and we found a bunch of driftwood on the beach, and we decided we wanted to take it home for one of our fish tanks, and then ended up deciding that we didn't want to add it to the fish tank, so it's just been sitting around. So I took my miter saw and I cut the bottom of the piece off to fit into the tank properly, and then I balanced this piece of wood on here so that it has more and more branches to climb, and I honestly am really happy with the way that it turned out. And so now I have all of my new plants to add, and I want to show you the process of me adding all of them. So here are all the plants that I'm planning on adding to the enclosure. I have rinsed off all of these because I want to make sure that if there's humidity on the leaves and that the chameleon drinks from it, it's not ingesting any pesticides. And then I'm going to go ahead and cover up all the dirt with these little rocks. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. These are the rocks that I'm using. They're made for turtles, and I got a 10-pound bag for $10. I mean, you could probably find some outside if you want to go cheaper, but I just got this at my local pet store because I wanted to add more rocks to my turtle enclosure, and so this is what I'm using. So I think the bottom of the enclosure is doing pretty well, and I feel like the chameleon will feel really safe and secure, but I do need to add a little bit more vines to the top area. So I have a bunch of these old bottles that I think I'm going to use to propagate the vines while inside the enclosure just because they're not quite ready to plant, but I want to get more vine-like structures for it to climb. So I think for now this will be a good kind of setup. So I'm adding in a final hook. I might add in a few more, but basically I want this one to come up here and be towards the light so it has something in the background. I'm gonna rearrange that. So I'm gonna have this come up through here and up here. So for right now, I think my enclosure is pretty complete. It has a basking area up here. It has all these plants down here. It should feel really safe and secure. So since this is my first time ever having a chameleon, I am going to post my enclosure on Reddit and see what the local hobbyists and hobbyists of all over the world have to say about my enclosure. Normally they give really good advice about what's going on, so I'm going to show you what I posted and some comments and feedback that I got back from people. So this is what I posted on Reddit, and hopefully over the past 24 hours no one has said anything negative about my enclosure. No one said that I went horribly wrong, so I'm taking that as a really good sign that what I did is going well. One of the comments that I got was that I should add a little bit more vines from this dude, and he said that it'll just help to keep my chameleon feel more safe. So we're gonna go add some extra vines right now. So this like fake vine came with my decoration kit. Unfortunately, I'm all out of pothos, so I'm gonna use this to make the chameleon feel a little bit more safe and secure at the top. This is the only fake plant I'm going to be using in my enclosure, and hopefully I can propagate a few more pothos leaves in the next coming months, so that way I can take this out and replace it with something real. So I added an extra hook into the back, and I'm gonna start adding the fake leaves in now. So this is what the enclosure looks like after adding in the vines. I do agree with what the comment that guy said on Reddit, and I think that this makes it look a lot more safe and secure and honestly like a little jungle. I'm really excited about how this turned out, and I think we're ready for the panther chameleon to arrive tomorrow. I put the humidifier on high so that we can get the humidity up in here to like 50-60%, but I think in about an hour or two I'm gonna turn it back down.